Mitch, not to intrude too much on the personal routine, but there are road cities around the league where you and an assistant can get out, walk, talk about things. Are you able to do that in New York? And how collaborative have the last couple of days been?
With my staff? Same routine as we've had throughout the playoffs. You dig into the film, you argue, you beat yourself up, you give each other feedback, figure out how to help the guys for the next game. Have not got out and gone on a walk yet, so here's the answer for that. But yeah, no, just trying to improve on things that we know that we have to be better at and settle into the series and try to continue to get better.
Brian, towards the center.
Brian Mahoney, Associated Press. Mitch, in some ways tomorrow is going to be different. They haven't had the finals here in a long time, and people know it's going to be quite a scene. So how do you balance the way you talk about that, if at all, versus, you guys played at Oklahoma City, which is a great home court, and that's, every time it's a big game there. Like, how do you treat tomorrow?
Like a finals game. I mean, I think there's enough at stake that we'll treat it appropriately. I think there'll obviously be a ton of excitement around the game. It'll be, this arena is like no other, and the added circumstances will be on top of that. And we've been fortunate to play some games in this arena recently that have been, again, not finals, but, Christmas game. And again, I think just the added attention around Victor and being in this arena a few times, we've experienced that, and I would expect tomorrow will be more than that, and it'll be a fun environment.
John in the center.
Coach, you guys have had a lot of transition opportunities in this series, and you obviously had a couple of big ones down the stretch the other night, but the overall sort of transition efficiency hasn't been there. What have you seen in sort of your transition in game, and why it's not been quite as good as previous rounds?
Yeah, some of that is, more in a vacuum, I think, in terms of like not the same things happening over and over, but sometimes the result cannot be as consistent as you want. So what I mean by that is we've had a few turnovers in transition that are not have been as common throughout the season, and there really hasn't been a real clear theme of why that is, other than just not making the right play or not finishing those advantages out as we have throughout the season. But it is a huge part of the game for us when we are at our best, and we have to take advantage of those. We've got actually from some of those having an advantage turned over and then actually going from looking like we're probably getting a bucket to giving up a bucket. And those are big swings in the game when you start talking about the margins of errors at this level.
On your left up front.
Coach Hidel Padilla, Filter 360, Puerto Rico. It seems to me that your Game 7, your team play at the highest level. How you get the collective effort to do that in these two upcoming games?
Yeah, I mean, we're at a stage now where the next game is going to be the biggest game until we're not playing. And we have to continue to execute and compete and finish plays and move on to the next play and understand that, there are going to be circumstances, there's going to be outcomes throughout a game that may not go your way, and we have to continue to be better at the things that we can control and be better at the things that we can influence.
Christian, back right.
Mitch, Christian Winfield, New York Daily News. You guys did a lot of good in that fourth quarter. I'm just wondering how you look at it, and then down the stretch, like what are some things you guys could have done differently? Obviously, there was self-inflicted wounds there. Victor throws the ball off his teammates' back. Just how do you process that fourth quarter where you guys did a lot good, but then didn't come up with the win down the stretch?
Yeah, I think, when you break down the 96 minutes of the two games in the fourth quarter, as you said, we've done some things well. I think we have not played to our standard. New York's played very well. They have something to do with that, and we have to just be better at some of those things. We got them late clock a ton. We fouled Anunoby on a three, baseline out of bounds. Brunson gets a quick pass to a layup without any resistance. And then obviously, loose ball foul there at the end, like you said. We've put ourselves in positions at times to make them miss, and we have to clean up the rebound and finish possessions out. And we have to be better, again, at taking advantage of when we put ourselves in good starting spots to take advantage of the things that we are doing well. And I think that's probably been, if there's a thematic thing, the biggest thing is when we've put in some good hard work at times and have not taken advantage of that hard work. And that's been partially, some undisciplined things of us, and partially also, New York stepped up and made some plays at the end of the clock and to finish out possessions.
Don, last question before Victor comes in.
Yeah, Mitch, Don Harris, WA, San Antonio. Some of it's just X's and O's, but from a psychological approach, interested to know your approach with a young team to keep them encouraged after losing 2 games in a row at home and knowing what's ahead.
We got one game tomorrow night at 8:30 in Madison Square Garden, and it's the only game that matters, and we got to come in here ready to win it.
Hi, Victor. Brian Mahoney, Associated Press. When you first played here, Coach Popovich told you about how special this building was supposed to be and maybe the best place to play basketball. Have you found that to be the case the times you've come played here? How have you enjoyed the experience?
Yeah, it's been very enjoyable playing here. I don't remember Pop saying that though, but I've definitely noticed it.
Dan, microphone on your right. Center.
Victor, Dan Devin, Yahoo Sports. Obviously, the finals have come with an additional level of media attention, a level of focus, and a lot more of a zoo around it. The expectation is tomorrow is going to be especially like that, particularly with the president coming in. Does that make it a more difficult task to lock in, to zone in on what you need to do, the additional hecticness of it?
Not really. I think it could be, but isolating myself is something I've practiced over the years, and I think I'm good at it, so it's not a problem. This is similar to something media-wise, like the Olympics.
Straight ahead, all the way in the back under the camera.
Victor, this is Hussein Alaoui from Bahrain. The Arab fans nowadays, kids, are seeing more often Victor Wembanyama staying up until 6 in the morning to watch you playing in the finals. Do you have any message to those fans from the Middle East?
Yes, I'm very grateful for what they do. This is true passion, and I definitely really, really appreciate the support.
Standing in the back, Jared.
Jared Weiss, The Athletic. The offense the Knicks have, it's had you defending all over the place, running around, when a lot of teams, you're able to kind of like take a breather at the beginning of a possession, play near the rim. How has that challenge been for you, and what have you learned over these first few games about how you have to defend this team?
The challenge been mostly about willpower, the will to do it. And I feel like I'll take a breather at the end of the season.
Melissa, back right.
Hey, Victor. What has it been like for you to play alongside De'Aaron Fox, and what have you learned from him?
It's been great. I think it's been saving us a lot of trouble especially over the course of the season. It's sometimes he makes things very easy for us, and he's an experienced guy that we've always been able to turn to when we need it. Especially, I think it's easy to forget that our guards are really young and how precious he's been for them.
Christian, back right.
Victor, Christian Winfield, New York Daily News. I'm just wondering, when you think back about the fourth quarter, you guys did a lot well down the stretch. What do you think that you guys could have done differently, or where do you see the room for improvement there, particularly down the stretch?
There were many things. It goes from simply not turning the ball over to being smarter about fouls or even fouling earlier sometimes in the possession. It's it could have went 1,000 ways.
On your
Right
left.
here.
Go ahead.
Catedral Deportiva from Santiago, Chile. I want to understand, not from a player standpoint, but as a human being, 22-year-old human being, how do you deal with pressure for games like these two ahead?
How do I deal with it? I think the key is acceptance a lot of times, and taking a step back, realizing the journey that's behind us and what's ahead of us, and just being okay with who I am, where I am, what I'm doing. I think at the end of the day, this is everything that I wish for. So there's no reason to really overthink it. This is what I'm built for.
Third row center, last question.
Hey, Victor, for NBA Mexico and Latam. So, what's the biggest lesson you've learned throughout these two finals games?
The biggest lesson is that I don't know if that's a lesson, but I'm just gonna say it like this: we need to capitalize and actually use all the efforts we did, because it felt like we did a lot. We did a lot of things wrong, but we also were relentless and kept pushing, but kind of like wasted that effort, even though I know it's not wasted because our lessons are learned, and I know we're not going to make the mistakes of the past again, but in a moment like this we need to make these things matter.
Hi, De'Aaron. Lee McEwen from Sports Illustrated. Appreciate you taking a couple minutes here.
No problem.
One of the big stories coming back to New York is that your guys' defense has done a great job of forcing Jalen Brunson to miss a lot of shots, but obviously he's still made a couple of big ones in the clutch. Can you speak a little bit to just what makes him such a tough cover in those situations?
Yeah, you watch him. He has some of the best footwork in the game. Obviously, he's a tough shot maker. He can really shoot the ball. He's strong. People talk about his size. Yeah, he's not tall, but he's strong and he knows how to get to his spots. He plays angles well. But yeah, we've done a good job on him through the course of the game. But he's made big shots. He's been a clutch player of the year. Obviously, probably the biggest reason why they're here. But we have to continue to just try to make it tough on him. And I think we're doing a pretty good job at that. And he's played well despite that.
Fourth row on the left, Vinny.
De'Aaron, Vince Goodwill, ESPN. Two questions. One, how is the ankle, in the aftermath of, it's been a couple weeks now since you initially turned it. Just where is it right now? Where are you with it? I didn't see any wrap or anything on it. And secondarily, as a vet on this team, what are you telling your guys about the atmosphere that they're going to walk into tomorrow? Could it be easier to be away from home in this situation?
Ankle is what it is, so that's not really something I'm worried about. But, you're in New York. Even when they travel, you hear New York fans. So, when we came here during the regular season, they hit it. Well, we hit them first. They hit us back in the mouth, and then we just kind of weren't able to get our wheels turning again. But I think we've been pretty good on the road throughout the playoffs, and obviously this team has been really good at home as well. So we got to try to come out and obviously easier said than done, but try to take the crowd out of it as quickly as possible. I think even like our Game 7. We never really let the crowd get into the game, and like I said, obviously easier said than done. But just try to negate some of their runs. You're gonna come in here. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna don't want to use the word hostile, but it's gonna be hostile. So you just try to not let the crowd get on their toes too much, because obviously this team plays, and usually it's more so role players and star players that play better at home.
Third row.
Hey, De'Aaron. Noah Powell with Bleacher Report. And in one word, what's the mindset headed into Game 3, and why that word?
Resilience. Obviously losing 2 games at home is never ideal, but we have to be able to let those 2 games go and look forward, look ahead toward the game that's in front of us.
Front row on the right.
Ramón Esteves, Deportes en Línea. Do you think that have played 2 strong series between Minnesota and OKC has a negative effect in the finals?
Obviously we had some tough series before, and we played some teams that were, physical just like the Knicks are, and those things can take a toll, but it's the playoffs. Everybody's banged up, something's hurting on every player that plays heavy minutes. So, that's never an excuse, but we have to come out and we have to play better.
First row.
Bobby Manning, CLNS Media. De'Aaron, what's it been like to have Luke as a teammate throughout this run? I know he's been on this setting with Boston, and obviously had got the big block for you guys in Game 7 against Oklahoma City. What has he brought to this team, and what is it kind of meant to have him in this moment?
I think it's good, especially when you have someone who's been through this type of thing before. And he just kind of brings a steady presence. Obviously, when you're backing up Vic, that's a tough task, because you're never gonna, give us everything that he leaves behind when he's not on the court. But I definitely think he's been great for us, and he's been through these moments, and he's kind of a calm presence, and he knows exactly what his strengths are, and he brings those every game.
First row.
Hi there, I'm Eduardo from Babel. Perhaps not that much finals related, but more about you. How's your relationship been over the past year with everything with Under Armour, Curry brand, you switching perhaps the sneakers in the playoffs or debuting a new pair and stuff like that?
Man, I don't really have much to say about it, so at least not right now.
Fourth row, last question.
Melvin Carcenti, BasketUSA.com. De'Aaron, you seem to have found some rhythm in that run in the fourth quarter. How can you take that and apply it more consistently in game three?
I mean, just trying to stay aggressive. I think coming out the gate, with your foot on the gas, especially on the road, especially obviously being down 0-2, you have to try to come out and be the aggressor. We can't come out and play from behind, or when we get a lead, we have to try to find ways to sustain it. Because I think we had double-digit leads in both games. So then obviously the NBA is a game of runs, and you're playing against a good team. At times they're going to miss shots. At times they're going to make shots later in the shot clock, or someone's going to make a tough shot. But we have to try to find a way to build upon the leads that we've gotten.
Stefan, Martin Seitune from Ritmo. You guys play a really fast-paced game. After 5 games with Portland, 6 with Minnesota, 7 at OKC, and 2 games, are you starting to feel like a physical limit to it, or do you sense like you're okay with it?
No, I think we're fine. I think we're a pretty young team, and that's probably our strong suit is to use our youth and play fast. So I don't think it really matters.
On the left, Mike.
Steph, nothing compares to the finals, obviously, but in a way, spending the last couple of years traveling around with the circus associated with Victory Wembanyama, has that prepared you in a way for the attention here and the glare and the spotlight?
I mean, yeah, I think so. Especially coming off of the year I had in college, I was kind of around it, obviously being in the Natty. So coming from that to playing with Vic, obviously a lot of eyes on us. Even though we didn't have a great year. And then coming into this year, I feel like we came into our own. So, I don't think it's something that, we're not used to.
Don up front.
Steph, Don Harris, WA, San Antonio. You know the history. No team that's ever lost first two games of a finals at home has gone on to win the series. This town's ready to go crazy to crown a champion for the first time in 53 years. What's the psychological play from you guys to stay encouraged and as you move forward, just trying to get one and then maybe get two?
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's first to four. At this point of the season, it doesn't really matter whether you're playing at home or away. Teams are playing their best brand of basketball. So trying to figure out how to win basketball games is, the most important thing. But, going down 0-2 at home is something that, we definitely didn't want to do. But, going back and watching it, those were very winnable games. And I think the next two are very winnable games, too.
Christian, next row back.
Christian Winfield, New York Daily News. Kind of piggybacking off that, you guys did a lot of good in that fourth quarter, and then down the stretch kind of didn't go your way, especially that play where Victor throws the ball off your back. Just how long did that play stick with you, and do you feel like there are some little things that you guys could have been able to do down the stretch to change the victory, to change the result of the game?
It probably stuck with me for the rest of that night, next morning. But, once you realize, the next game is more important at that point, you got to let it go. I don't know what we could have done differently, at the end of that game to pull it out, but, it didn't happen. So, on to the next.
Next row back.
Hey, Steph. Chris Persianen here with Clutch Points. Last time I interviewed you in this building, you were wearing some different colors, like you mentioned earlier. That level of pressure, now bigger stage, but what's it been like on a day-to-day basis, going to practice, talking with teammates, just having all this on you guys and knowing everyone's watching, but also this is exactly kind of what you worked for?
Yeah, like you said, this is what we worked for. This is the spot that we dreamed of being in. So, we're here now. We're trying to take full advantage of that. And I think, like I said earlier, once you get past the fact that, we're playing in the finals and, you're on this big stage that you dreamed of, it's still basketball. So, we got to lock back in and, focus on our details and try and win the next game.
Next seat over.
Stephen, Sami Sadiq for French Media L'Equipe. You have a lot of people in the Spurs who have been to the finals, Greg Popovich, R.C. Buford, who have won it. Did some of them talk to the team after the first 2 losses to try to give a message or to help you rebound from those 2 losses?
Yeah, we talked to Pop before we flew down here. And pretty much his message was just let the last 2 games go. It happened. They were very winnable games. And, we feel like we gave them those games. But maybe we got to let those go and focus on the next one. We feel like the next game is the most important game of the series. So trying to come into that and win it.
Peter, here on the side.
Hey, Steph. Peter Splendoria with the New York Daily News. Just what's kind of the latest with your ankle? How has it felt the last couple of days when you've woke up? And have you had to do anything different treatment-wise?
No, it's been feeling good. I've been feeling good. It feels a lot better than I thought it was initially. Obviously, I had some adrenaline running, and kind of once I settled down, I started to feel it. But waking up the next day, it actually felt really good. So,
over on your left, third row.
Steph, obviously the emotions of that last game was a whirlwind and it was tough. Saw a clip of Devin telling Vic to keep his head up. What are the conversations like internally for you guys after that in terms of just, staying together and keeping your heads up?
Yeah, like I said earlier, we feel like we gave them that game, on self-inflicted mistakes, not just talking about, the last play of the game or last couple of plays of the game. I feel like throughout the game we gave them life in the areas where, we could have took a lead and extended it. So, we've always had the next play, next game mentality, and we weren't able to close that one out. But like I said earlier, it's 1st to 4, so I think we're confident we can go get the next one first.
Standing over here on your right.
Jeremiah, I got a quick question for you. Just about, so my question is, what was the biggest adjustment from year 1 to year 2?
Biggest adjustment, I think just trying to find things on the court that you're good at, and not really chasing numbers or getting too high or getting too low. I think just trying to find the things that you're good at and master them first, and then you'll realize what kind of player that you'll be in this league very early. And I think if you just help your team win regardless and you do the things that you're good at, you'll be successful.
Melissa, towards the back here on the right side.
Hey, Steph. Wemby is obviously the face of this team, but De'Aaron's leadership behind the scenes I know has meant a lot to you guys. What has he meant to you personally, and what has been his message heading into Game 3?
Yeah, just being around Fox, he's a very confident person. And I think the message that, he tries to instill into us is always the next play mentality. Like I said, right now it's, we have to go win the next 48 minutes. So, that's pretty much what he's been preaching in our locker room for, the last 48 hours.
We got last question right here in the third row.
Hey, Steph, Leandro Carranza from NBA Latin America. You guys proved to be a pretty resilient team coming back from losses this playoffs. So I'm curious, how is that process basketball-wise to improve, to be better after a tough loss like with OKC or the previous series?
Yeah, I think it's just human nature to come out with a certain sense of urgency, especially after a loss. It probably shouldn't go that way, realistically. You should come out with that same urgency whether you win or lose. But, now being down 2-0, our sense of urgency is probably the highest it's been all playoffs, especially it being the finals. So, I think I'm ready to see how we'll come out next game.
What is kind of the mindset, the mentality coming down here, down 2-0, knowing sort of the environment you're walking into tomorrow in this place?
Just taking it one game at a time and trusting our work, trusting in each other, trusting our teammates, trusting the coaching staff. We're here for a reason. This game, the series could be 2-0 for us. You know what I'm saying? With a couple of different possessions. So just trust what we've been doing and clean up some things and we'll be good.
Second row. Hey, Devin. Liam McCune from Sports Illustrated. Appreciate you taking a couple minutes, man.
Of course.
You're part of a backcourt that has done a generally pretty good job on Jalen Brunson. You guys have forced him to miss a lot of shots the first 2 games, but obviously he's come up clutch in Game 1 and Game 2. Can you speak a little bit to how challenging of a cover he is in those moments?
Yeah. It feels like those are the moments that he lives for, especially in the fourth quarter, clutch. you know, I feel like we're doing a really good job on him, like you said. I mean, making him shoot some tough shots all throughout the game, and even those clutch shots are very tough shots that he's been hitting. So I don't think there's really much that you can change, coverages you can change. I mean, even we're forcing him into some really tough shots. So it's a challenge, and we're excited for it because, like you said, we're doing a really good job on him.
Last row.
Hey, Devin. Noah Powell with Bleacher Report. In one word, what's your mindset headed into Game 3, and why that word?
Focused. I just feel like it's going to be mayhem out here, and we know it's going to be crazy. The fans are going to be going crazy. Outside the arena is going to be crazy. The media is going to be crazy. We just need to be focused on us and people, everybody that's in our locker room and in the team. We don't need to let any outside noise or distractions get in the way of what's going on because we feel like we have a really good opportunity in Game 3.
First row on the right.
Ramon Esteve, Deportes en Línea. Can you share with us what is the most impactful thing that have you had playing in the finals?
Most impactful? I mean, honestly, it's just a blessing to be a part of this, to be in the finals, to be, you know, as a young kid, it's something that you dream of, especially playing here in Madison Square Garden. So just honestly, just taking it all in for what it is, but being ready because Game 3 is a huge game for us.
Fourth row in the middle.
Melvin Carcetti, BasketUSA.com. On the same line, can you let yourself appreciate the fact that you're in the finals in New York at such a big stage? Or is it, if you start to do that, you may lose the focus that you've talked about?
Nah, I mean, I think it's human nature. I think at the end of the day, it's a blessing to be a part of, and it's something that you dream about. So, of course, you think about it. But, you know, once it's game time and the ball gets thrown in the air, all that, it kind of goes out the window. You're playing basketball, the same game that you've played your whole life. And you just got to be super locked in and focused. And I know that with everybody through the locker room, with Vic, Steph, the coaching staff, I mean, everybody's super locked in, and we're excited for the challenge.
How's it going, Dylan? Jeff McDonald,
Good.
San Antonio Express News. You know, as a you've been to many games in this building growing up. Can you imagine what the vibe is going to be like for an NBA Finals game here?
I mean, I feel like we kind of got a taste of it a little bit in San Antonio. And I think that next game tomorrow is going to be electric. I think it's going to be through the roof. I think it's going to be everything that I've kind of seen or dreamed of times 10, obviously being in the finals. But I'm excited to be out there. I'm excited just to play, really.
Second row in the middle. Hey, Dylan. Liam McCune from Sports Illustrated. Appreciate you taking a couple minutes. One of the big stories coming back to New York is Jalen Brunson. You guys have done a great job making him miss shots, but he's still made a couple of really big ones in the last few minutes of both of the first two games. Can you speak a little bit to how difficult of a cover he is in those moments?
I mean, he's a great player. I feel like he kind of likes moments like that. He steps up in those big moments. And I think for us, we just have to keep on doubling down our game plan, kind of just seeing what works and just keep going to that. So, I mean, he makes big shots. That's kind of the type of player he is. But for us, you know, we can't get too down on things like that. We just got to just keep on just applying the pressure.
First row here.
Bobby Manning, CLNS Media. Dylan, what was it like through your rookie season to, you know, not only find your footing in this league, but see your brother Ron do it as well? And what did you see from him going against him and, you know, just watching him from afar in Boston?
I mean, obviously, I mean, he started off with a G, and now he's got a guaranteed contract. So just for me, just to watch him and to watch him grow as a player was special. Obviously, I think I've kind of known the type of player he's been for a while, and now to see the whole road is, I mean, I wouldn't expect anything else. But for me, I think finding my footing was easy with the type of team we have. A whole lot of people, a whole lot of vets to kind of help me around. And they told me I'm going to make mistakes, but, you know, it's how you respond and how you bounce back to those mistakes. But, I mean, for us to both, you know, have the year we had, I mean, I think it's a big plus for us.
First row on the left.
Dylan, Champ de Lunes from ABS-CBN News Philippines. Dylan, where do you get your confidence playing the way you do? I mean, it's definitely no fluke.
My work, my preparation, and I think, you know, to be who I want to be in this league, I feel like you kind of have to have that confidence. And if I want to, if I want to go out there and perform and I want to play like how I want to play, I kind of just have to just boggle down on my work and my work ethic. And I feel like that's kind of been at the top of everything recently, and I think now that, you know, and I think now more than ever, I think it's starting to show.
Fourth row in the middle.
Melvin Carcenti, BasketUSA.com. Dylan, you were. We could feel the excitement when you talk about playing here for the finals. How do you use that excitement and funnel it towards, you know, playing possibly, you know, one of the best games of your career versus the opposite?
I think you have to use that type of excitement and that gracefulness just as fuel. I think I use it as fuel to go and win games like this in the Garden. Like if you want to go win, you got to kind of be greedy in a sense, and I feel like I've kind of used my excitement to be here, my excitement to play 45 minutes from home as kind of fuel to the fire.
Last row.
Hey, Dylan. Noah Powell with Bleacher Report. I just want to know what's your mindset going into Game 3 in one word, and why that word?
Desperation. I think for me, I feel like I'm at my best when I play with that type of desperation, and I think that's what's kind of needed for this occasion. So I feel like I'm going to go out there, and no matter what the circumstances, I think if I'm not playing with that type of fire or grit, I'm doing a disservice to everyone.